to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Relly. I am a queer disabled YA author, and my debut novel that I don't have in this room, there's a badge for that, came out in May. Anyways, it is November 1st. I am going to really quick go back in time like an hour and show you just a few quick clips of me making this sweater to wear for today and into the future, obviously. And then I'm gonna get into some book work. So that's what I'm gonna go do right now. Have a good time watching my shirt process for just a quick minute, and then we'll get into the work. Good morning, friends. Welcome to my bedroom. It is November 1st at 10:30 in the morning. I am fresh out of the shower, hence the partially dried hair. And I'm kicking off my morning making something with my Cricut because I wanted to wear a fun writerly shirt this morning to kick off November, novel writing month, whatever we're calling it. And I didn't have one that I wanted to wear. So I wanted to make a writerly shirt to kick off the month today. I'm gonna do a hoodie because it's cold. Just a plain white hoodie. I actually made one of these for Diane Marie for her book release of The Echo of Precious Things, which you can get wherever books are sold. And it was so cute. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make one for myself. So that's what I'm doing this morning to kick off my bookish things for today. So I have my Cricut Joy Extra, and I already have the design because I'm using the same one I used for Diane. I'm just changing the title of the book, obviously. So I just need to get that going on my Cricut, and I'm not going to make you watch this whole process because that would be tedious, but I'll show you something. Okay, so I have the design now. You can see those little lines in there, and I have to pull out the background and then put it on the shirt and then heat it. Let's go. Isn't this such a great angle for me? I have the first word placed. Wish me luck. Ah, it looks so good. Hopefully it's in the right spot. Okay. So I have figured out how to do the puffy stuff now. Doing it for Diane was the first time I'd ever done it. So I think I have got it down now. So cute. Okay, now the trickiest part is the sleeve. Okay, friends, we have lost the sun in my bedroom, but let me show you the finished product. I have everything done, cleaned up, just waiting for the heat presses to fully cool before I put them away. But let me show you. Don't fall. So there's the top of the hoodie. Super cute. And there's the sleeve. It says there's a badge for that. As you can see, I probably should have made it just, and it is straight. I'm just holding it weird to show you. I should have made it just a little narrower. When I made Diane's, the letters were too close together and it almost like squished into each other. So I wanted to spread the letters out a little bit, but I should have made it a little smaller after I did that. But as you can see, can you see? Yeah, it's like the puffy fabric from, is that from the 90s? The 80s or 90s? I can't remember, but feels very nostalgia to me. And I feel like it makes it look like it's not homemade. Even though there's nothing wrong with things being homemade or handmade, I think they mean more that way, especially as gifts. But I do like that it's not like a shiny, flat vinyl. It's harder to see on these little ones. But on here, you can definitely see, like, this could have been made at a store. It looks like it's like fuzzy. So that is my hoodie. I'll try and get a better shot of my wrist for you. But that's a hoodie I made, and now I am ready for November 1st novel things. So let's get into that because this has been way too long. Okay, hopefully this is gonna work for a minute. So as I said in my novel November, whatever we're calling it, intro video, I was not at all prepared. And it's November 1st and I'm still not prepared. I don't have a ton of plot done. I have a very basic note with major plot points and dates, a couple like character names and ages and stuff. Really nowhere near where I normally am when I start on November 1st. But I kind of just want to go with that. I feel like the last handful of years that I've done Nano, I have meticulously planned every detail down to the scene card, like so plotted. And outside of my debut novel, that hasn't really worked for me. It hasn't given me enough flexibility. It worked for my debut because it had so many elements that were pulled from real life, despite being a fiction story, that I kind of already knew like the timeline and how everything was going to go, that it wasn't necessarily a plotting choice. It was just that was the way that it had to go. And yes, things changed throughout the novel. Some scenes got cut, some scenes got added, but overall, it was very close to what I initially had plotted. And my other stories, I've really needed a bit more flexibility. So I think that I'm just going to lean into the discovery writing process for this book and see what happens. I am so bare bones at this point that I don't even have a playlist done. My playlist has, I think, like 2 or 3 songs on it right now. And of course, I'm going to add to it as I write the book and, you know, songs start to come to me that fit what I'm writing. But typically I do it the other way around. So it's really interesting to me how bare bones I am jumping into this story. And it'll be interesting to see if that is to my detriment or if that actually makes a positive difference for me. So am I going to jump in and start actually drafting right now today? I don't even know. So I think right now what I'm going to do is take these bits and pieces that I do have, the very few that I have, and try and just figure out where they would plug in the beats. And then I'll probably do my character sketches and my setting sketches so that I have those done. And then I definitely want to draft something today. It's November 1st. It just feels right. So I think I will probably just try and get even a couple hundred words down and just sort of see how that feels, if that makes sense. Just to say that I drafted today and started the month off drafting. I will get that done and then I will check in with you and see how things are going. Okay, friends, it is now after 2 o'clock. I don't even remember what time I started. I was running a timer on my like agenda to-do app that I use, but I know I started it after I'd already been working for a bit, and I'm not sure how long that was. Anyway, I think I'm at like 2.5 hours-ish if I were to guesstimate, and I need to be done. My back is sore from sitting in this bed, and I don't want to give myself a headache because that happens when I sit in my bed and work for too long. So I need to be done for right now. I didn't actually get to drafting. I might go have some lunch and then maybe try and draft, even if it's just like 100 words, just to be able to say that I did it, you know? So what I did work on was I started doing the character sheets like I had mentioned, and then I was coming up against math, and me and math are not friends. So I was trying to do all these calculations about when people's birthdays would have to be, and then how old they would be, and then when the next person's birthday would have to be and how old they would be. And this is the same problem I had with Project Camp. I redid the math on all the years and ages and everything probably a dozen times. And I even had Jesse help me because math is his forte. He does accounting and payroll for his career. And yeah, it was such a mess. After I spent probably a solid half hour, I'm not even kidding, trying to calculate all these dates and birth dates and all these things, I was like, there has to be a better way than me looking at calendars from decades ago and using the calculator on my computer and trying to do everything manually. I was like, there has to be a better way. So then I installed Aeon Timeline, which I had used once before in the past. And I remember there being some sort of financial barrier. I don't know if originally it was a subscription or if originally it was more expensive or if I was just way broker, whatever that was a number of years ago. Because I installed it and looked at the pricing, and it's $65 US, mind you, which is like closer to 100 for us. But for like a one-time fee. So I was like, oh, well, compared to some of the other like writing software and stuff that I've bought, that's not really that bad. I don't know why I wouldn't have bought it last time. So I don't know if they've changed their pricing model or what. Anyway, so then I started transferring everything into Aeon Timeline, which I think is going to be pretty tedious and take me quite a bit to set up, as I've already been working on it for like an hour and a half. I do have the first 3 characters with their birthdays. I have, how many here? About 10 events that I already know for sure when those happen, scheduled in. I have set up all the like views and categories and stuff the way that I think that I'm going to prefer them for now. And I was just diving into setting up the narrative timeline, which is different, right? So the timeline is chronologically how everything happens. The narrative timeline is going to be how I, like what order I actually tell the story. So you can have those 2 separate timelines, which is super cool. So I am getting this all set up, and I think that will really help me, and that'll keep things straight. And I can tell already, like after I'd input a couple things, that I had done the math wrong because of what I was saying with the birthdays and all of that, because things were coming up and people weren't the right age. And I was like, okay, well, it's a good thing that I did this, because otherwise I would have already been off on the wrong foot, having dates incorrect from before I even start drafting. Yeah, so I think this is going to be really good. But what it kind of had me doing was plotting the story, which is what I had originally said I wasn't really going to focus too much on, because I was putting those events in with their dates, the ones that I know. I felt like I just spent all this time plotting, but I haven't done any drafting, and I've only really plotted like the initial catalyst of the story. I haven't done anything else. So I can't even actually throw things into the narrative timeline yet, because I don't really have enough at this point to even start doing that. So I'm just going to keep working on the timeline as I go. That might mean that I end up writing this chronologically and then move all the pieces around after. We will see. But yeah, as I said, I need to be done for right now. It's almost 2:30. I haven't even had lunch yet. And this video is already looking like it's going to be like 45 minutes or an hour, maybe even, worth of footage. So I might actually do today's video by itself, like day 1 of Novel November, and then maybe start my vlogs, which I was planning to do 2 weeks at a time. Yeah, because I really wasn't planning on having so much content today with making the shirt and all of the things. So I'm not going to linger anywhere too long. I don't want you to catch any details that you weren't supposed to catch, but basically I have my 3 characters with literally just their name and their birthday and like 2 or 3 little point form notes about them. I haven't even put the locations into Scrivener because after I did this and was messing with birthdays, then I moved over into Aeon Timeline. Hopefully that's small enough that you can't really see it. Yeah, so I've got not a ton of stuff, but a handful of things into Aeon Timeline here, and I'm feeling pretty good about where I'm at with these events and stuff. But yeah, that's all I've got done today. Yeah, so looking at it like that, it doesn't seem like I did a whole bunch of work, but I really feel pretty accomplished, to be honest. I do for sure want to draft at least a handful of words. That's the plan. I will check in with you after I've eaten. Okay, I'm back in the same spot, but I promise I did get work done. You did see me typing. It's getting dark, so apologies for the color. Yes, so I wrote 210 words after doing another probably 45 minutes or an hour of not drafting, trying to find songs for my playlist and buying the Aeon timeline software so that I could open it on my other computer as well, and all the things. Anyway, so now I am done for the day. 210 words doesn't seem like a lot, but I have literally been working since, I don't know what time that was that I told you, like 11:30 or something, and it's 5:20. So I've put in a solid day's work. My eyes are bothering me from all the screens. So it's time for me to relax now. I do still need to make an Instagram post for today. I am not getting the errands done because, as I said, it's almost 5:30 and the mall is closed or about to be closed and I'm tired. So, and we still have Game 7 to watch tonight. Hopefully that is going to be a big win. Fingers crossed. So that is going to be it for today. Thank you so much for coming along. Day 1 of novel November writing month, whatever you want to call it. I really should just pick one and stick with it. I will do that by the time that this video goes live because I have to make a title of some sort. So I will pick something and stick with it. But thank you for coming along for November 1st, working on Project Lost Boys. I am really out of the habit of filming, but hopefully I can get back into the swing of vlogging, especially soon. And please comment down below, let me know what you're working on this month, whether you're drafting or revising or whatever you're doing. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye, friends.